This is 90 inches tall, you know. It's not a tall hallway, but, you know, it's further than a guy can reach. It's, you know, it's pretty tall. So this is a monumental scale, right? This is 61 feet and 4 inches this way. 61 feet, you know, which is what, 3 times this room, 4 times this room, 90 inches tall. So as you're working on sketches, you have to think about scale as well. And then what's the story you're going to tell? So that's where you are now, is in that discovery process. You know, just like Bob works from nature, you're working from art and design and architecture and the history of this state and the county and the community. So you're doing discovery right now, and you know, now's the point to start having fun. And so what I'm trying to say then is cut out a whole bunch of these and work really loose with your teams. What I would do is go find your place to work, put 4 tables together, sit with your team, take some of the ideas and concepts you've had, take markers or rough pencils or charcoal, and start sketching really loose to make sure that you're also aware of elements of design, okay? And don't get hung up on detail yet. So those of you who are photographers, you know, you can print out some of your photos out on the Ricoh, and you can lay those out. Put your resources on the table. You could cut and paste things. You know, if you see how Bob is discovering, okay, there are all kinds of processes you can use right now. And you could print things out, you could scale them or whatever, you can cut and paste things together and move things around, you know, on top of this, you know, and scotch tape it down, and then you could lay tissue over that. We have rolls of transparent tracing paper. You can draw and redraw. So my suggestion to you right now as you're starting to do the design, ideation, sketching, is stay loose, okay? Don't get tight yet. You know, next week is probably, yeah, Bob, you know, please.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to kind of tie the idea of chance and quick improvisation and kind of jazz play. There's lots of things that came to mind that don't have anything to do with the content other than thinking about the rhythm of movement across this space. Ways you can generate just to kind of, before you get into maybe putting the content in or applying that, if you wanted to just think about how you were talking about wide markers and playing like that. There's also, you could think of you could lay something down, tear stuff out of a magazine, of a newspaper. You could chop chunks out of newspaper, pictures and text, and throw them down, rearrange them. You could make a frame. It was like a piece of cardboard, cut the hole that's shaped like that. You could do stuff and try framing or rearranging, trying to get a rhythm. You could take a roller for a printing roller, brayer, put ink and go and just make marks with the brayer. You could work with light brushes, stains, like staining the ink, and do light marks and then dark marks. There's just to think in terms of movement and breaking this up into lights and darks and kind of a flow. And then that doesn't even have to have anything to do with your final composition. It would just be a way to kind of loosen up your thinking, and so that you don't get stuck in the minutia at first. And then maybe that would carry over, maybe it wouldn't. It doesn't have to be something I've discovered this now, I need to plug into this thing I've designed. It could just be a way of working just to get that idea of seeing the whole thing as a design and as a flow of lights and darks and textures and so on.
His idea is, creating a mask, if you will, a window. We have a lot of cardboard here, so you can cut a couple pieces and then take them together to create that window. It's a great idea because, we talk a lot in 101 about creating energy. When you center something and it's perfectly symmetrical, it doesn't have a lot of energy. isolate something, create, off balance, whatever starts to have energy. What he's suggesting to you is work with some sense of randomness and use that mass to find your balance, but also something that really has movement, rhythm, that has some energy and excitement. And so this is the point right now where you start really having fun with that composition, okay? And then you find elements of the composition that, I'm gonna use the term earlier when he was talking early on in his process of how he works, he's kind of creating a conversation with the form that's, in other words, that form starts to take its own life. He's not forcing it. And I think that's kind of what we're saying to you is don't get hung up on a predetermined outcome yet. Stay loose enough with your compositions, and you can cut things, you can move things around, you can tape things down, lay that out, and then, if you have 20 of these cut out, do another one, and do each one of these in 15 minutes, in 10 minutes or something, and start to find some things that really happen, where you have action, movement, unity, you have balance, and balance could be in asymmetry, okay? I mean, you could have one little block of something here, like a major brush stroke. Think about if you did like Bob's idea, if you did a brush stroke and something is laying on top of that brush stroke, and then you take that as part of your composition and blow up that brush stroke 70 inches tall on a wall, which you can, you mimic that brush stroke, how powerful would that be, right? So that's some of the randomness that Mr. Poe is talking about. You can pull some of those elements together and then blow them up because you have 61 feet to work with. So if you have a brush stroke, think about, are any of you familiar with Roy Lichtenstein or James Dine or any of those names? There's a name. So if you look at some of the artists from the 60s, for example, they worked with scale. Lichtenstein took elements, small little elements of design, like the